It took me years, decades really, to understand something so simple, something that could have saved me from so many sleepless nights, wrong turns, and wasted energy. And here's the crazy part. If someone had just told me this years ago, I probably wouldn't have believed them, but I know it now, and I'm going to give it to you in the next few minutes. So maybe you don't have to spend the next 20 or 30 years figuring it out the hard way. Section 1. The truth. Here it is. Your life changes the moment you stop living it on autopilot and start owning every choice you make. Sounds simple, right? But for most of us, it's not. We go through the motions, school, work, relationships, without ever asking, is this actually what I want? Or is this just what's expected of me? For years, I chased the version of life other people told me was right. The safe job, the perfect image, the comfortable routine. And sure, it looked good from the outside. But inside, I felt like a passenger in my own story. Section 2. The wake-up moment. One day, I asked myself a question I'd been avoiding. If nothing changes, will I be happy living the same day over and over for the next 10 years? The answer hit me like a punch. No. That's when I realized the scariest thing isn't failing. The scariest thing is getting to the end of your life and realizing you never actually lived it. From that day, I made a decision. If I'm going to fail, I'm going to fail at my life, not someone else's idea of it. Section 3. The hard lesson. Here's what they don't tell you. Taking ownership of your life means taking ownership of your mistakes, your flaws, and your excuses. It's not comfortable. You can't blame your past, your parents, your boss, or the economy forever. When I looked in the mirror and admitted, this is on me, it hurt. But it was also the most freeing moment of my life, because if it's on me, then it's also in my power to change it. Section 4. Small changes, big shifts. You don't need to burn your whole life down overnight. You start small, wake up earlier, and use that time for something that matters to you. Say no to one thing this week that drains you. Spend just 30 minutes learning a skill you've always been curious about. These tiny shifts are like steering a ship. At first, the change feels slow, but give it time and you'll end up in an entirely different destination. Section 5. The quiet work. Here's something else I learned. The biggest changes happen quietly. Nobody's clapping for you in the beginning. Nobody sees the late nights, the early mornings, the self-doubt you push through. But one day, they will. And they'll call you lucky or an overnight success. They'll never see the years of silent work that built the life you have. And that's okay, because the work was never for them. It was for you. Section 6. The shift in perspective. Once you take ownership of your life, you start seeing everything differently. Obstacles stop feeling like stop signs and start looking like detours. Failures stop feeling like endings and start becoming lessons. You realize that your life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. And once you control your response, you control your story. Closing. Call to action for self. If there's one thing you take from this, let it be this. You don't have to wait for a perfect moment to take control. You don't need permission. You don't need anyone to believe in you first. You just need to decide right now that you're going to live a life that feels like yours. Because trust me, you don't want to look back 30 years from now and realize you were a guest in your own life. Start steering today. Start owning it today. And years from now, you'll thank yourself for not waiting another minute.